Cheers, everybody. Welcome back to another video. Got my coffee here. Nice little cozy day. The rain's going outside. And so I want to have a conversation today. And for all of the people that watch my channel that are really die-hard law of assumption and Neville Goddard people, you guys are definitely going to take some issue with this video. That's okay. This channel isn't a law of assumption video channel, or I'm not like a law of assumption coach, as certain people have kind of accused me of. This channel it's about becoming the best version of yourself. And now the reason that I talk about mindset and manifestation so much is because I really do believe in its power. I really do believe that the most foundational thing we can do is to change that conception of ourselves, our self-image. That's why I was doing those readings from Psycho-Cybernetics. That's the reason why I go so deep into this style of content. It's also because this style of content does well. I have done other videos which are more general in the past, and I will be leaning more into other ideas as well as we continue here. But today I want to talk about the power of consistency, and through the lens of consistent action, because as you guys may know, if you're watching this channel, I have posted almost every single day for the past year on this channel. Now, the title of this video, that you want to take action regardless of how you feel, is I'm going to share a little bit about that. See, there have been days where I don't feel like posting on this channel. There have been days where I just kind of want to F off and focus on something else. Like, I don't want to necessarily set up a video, and sometimes that's why I lean into some of the success story style videos, some, kind of breaking down other people's success stories, or kind of more research-based videos, or even sometimes readings and breakdowns from books, is because I have sometimes it's hard to get into a state that's motivated and to really come up with a brand new off-the-fly daily video. But another reason is again, I find those videos valuable. I find that a lot of people enjoy them, but there's been spurts where I've actually come up with fresh ideas, completely original videos of me just riffing off the top of my head. But what I'm saying is, when going through with anything that you're looking to make a change with, for example, me posting on this channel, there's days where I just don't feel like doing it, right? Now, coming at this from the perspective of just pure manifestation or whatever, you could say that, oh, well, you're not feeling the wish fulfilled or whatever. But I just think that human beings, there's going to be times doing anything. If you're starting a new habit, there's going to be an uphill, it's going to be tough, right? Let's say that you're switching your diet, or let's say that you're making that's why so many people, obviously, they can't stick to a new routine at the gym at the beginning of the year, because it's hard. There's friction. And so again, I like to take this holistic approach. You're going to get a lot of benefit from studying a lot of different things besides just Neville Goddard. And so when you understand the different aspects of psychology that goes into it, there is this resistance, what's his name? Stephen Pressfield, with the book, The War of Art, he talks about resistance. He personifies resistance because it's a real thing that we face as creatives, but also just as somebody that's working on something. When we're working on our business, you could liken YouTube to a business. I think that a lot of the times in the manifesting community, we get sold this, in my opinion, kind of false bag of goods, which is this whole idea that you can just manifest your SP or your dream income or whatever overnight. And look, I'm not saying that it's impossible. I know that there are ways for you to manifest an SP into your life without taking action. I know that. That's not what I'm arguing with. What I'm saying is that taking that mindset on that you're always going to be able to do this instantaneously, or without effort, or even without a consistent practice and consistently building yourself into that person who is then able to attract that SP, or to attract, especially within the realm of business, you're going to be very hard pressed to find any real true overnight success. People may look like an overnight success, but that's because they've been putting in work in the background. And that's what I've come to realize after, sharing hundreds of success stories from Reddit, talking to many people who are successful themselves, talking to Sam from the Soul's Playground, talking to Sunny Sharma, talking to Life by Lucy, talking to Naya, talking to tons of people that I've spoken with, as well as other coaches or experts that, or people who are successful with manifestation, like Maggie Murphy from Neville Goddess, Tim Grimes, he's like a best-selling author on Amazon. All of these people take a lot of action, and they do it in a consistent way. And they've even mentioned to me times where, yeah, they felt doubt and they felt like this resistance, and they don't necessarily feel like doing it. Just like I don't feel like making these videos every single day, but you still do it. And then when you do that and you build up that inner strength, that inner mental kind of iron will of discipline, as I talked about in a recent video, that's when you start to build momentum, and that's when you kind of embody that new version of yourself, that new character, right? That you take on these new character qualities that then allow you to sustain this result. This could even go as far as your manifestation practice. Like, let's say you're doing the mirror technique every single morning. You're saying your affirmations, your statements to yourself in the mirror. Well, if you just go up one morning, let's say you've been doing them for a week or 2 weeks, and you're like, I don't really feel like it. Well, then you start to fall off. Now you skip a day, but then next week you find that you only did it once during the week. And the next week after that, you haven't done it at all, right? And so now months go by, and you realize, oh, I was only able to stick to that for 2 weeks, right? Well, maybe now, if you would have stuck to it, your results that you're getting into the 3D would be different. Like, your ability to bring about, to emit that energy, to be vibrating at this whole different frequency, you've not been able to get there because you weren't sticking with the consistency. My ability to come up with videos, my ability to speak about things on the fly, undoubtedly has increased from me engaging in this practice. Even if your goal is to just manifest an SP, which again can happen for you more easily, it's going to be done by you becoming that version. And a lot of people say they want a high quality partner. I want a high value woman, or I want a high value man. Well, those people, if you really want a partner of this quality that you say that you want, is going to require you stepping up more. It's going to require you having better communication skills. It's going to require you being more genuine, you cultivating your personality, you having a more genuine, but also like a pleasing personality, which is to say that you are, and also taking care of any emotional baggage or weird stuff you have going on. We've been studying the laws of mental domination by Frank Rudolph Jung, and if you have all kinds of weird things and resentments and emotional kinds of things going on in the background, the person that you're engaged with is going to be able to feel that, right? Now, a lot of women say they want a high value man, yet they have these emotional issues going on in the background. They may not truly be expressing gratitude in the background. They've bought into a lot of these kind of toxic ideas, which are, I don't need a man, and that men are, there's a lot of trash talking against men that goes down around our current society. So when they have these things going on in the background, you're not going to be in a state of where you genuinely appreciate a man, because a high value man wants a woman that genuinely respects him, genuinely appreciates him, genuinely wants to make his life peaceful and better. If you don't have all that going on, if you are, again, as Frank Rudolph Jung said, you're not willing to take care of yourself, you're not working on yourself physically and mentally and emotionally, you're not going to be able to sustain that. The other case as well, a lot of men will settle for, and so what I'm saying is, you end up settling when you haven't taken care of the inner for a guy who's an alcoholic, a guy who's a drug addict, a guy who is low value, a guy who is not somebody that is going to care for you and create a life for you, which is going to be, which you're going to be able to create together, which is going to be harmonious and a true life of fulfillment, right? It's it's going to be kind of more like a house of cards. You're going to fall for him because of something, but you're not going to really like the whole entire relationship. There's going to be manipulation on both sides. There's going to be, right? The vice versa of the situation is a lot of men will then settle for women who are also emotionally abusive, women who are alcoholics or who have these problems going on in the background as well, because they haven't done the work on themselves either. The men haven't. And so as a man, you need to work on your communication skills. You need to work on your ability to be a solid, have that emotional strength, be a pillar of strength. You need to work on your competency, on your skills. What is it that you are doing that's on a long-term basis going to provide the stability to the home? Because that is what your role should be as a man. And so what I'm saying is that even if you manifest this relationship overnight somehow without taking any action, which everybody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do the work, right? Everyone wants to shirk the work, which I understand. That's what is attractive about this whole manifestation space is like, I can just get my thing overnight, like Amazon delivery, right? But the thing is, you're not going to sustain it without the consistent putting forth this intention to step into this new version of yourself, which is able to sustain it. And so again, these things, keeping a clean home. I just cleaned up around here yesterday, and I feel completely different being in this environment. Taking care of your diet, taking care of your self-talk again, which is where we come back to the practice of affirmations, the practices that you have, and if you're making this intention and then doing it on an ongoing basis and having consistency, you're also then gaining that competency. You're gaining that trust in yourself. You're gaining that self-esteem that says, hey, look, I'm the type of person that does what I say I'm going to do. I'm the type of person that makes a decision and I stick to it. And now, again, that could be in the format of you tell yourself you're going to make a video every day, you make a video every day. You tell yourself you're going to do your affirmations in the morning every day, you do your affirmations in the morning every day. You tell yourself that you are going to show up in a healthy way for your partner, and even when there are disagreements or potentially arguments, that you tell yourself, hey, look, I want to be the type of person that creates harmony in the relationship. I'm going to I don't know if be the bigger person is the right phrasing here, but I'm going to, even if I feel as if like my gut reaction is I want to blame the other person, I'm going to look and do some introspection too to say, hey, how have I been showing up? And also begin to take accountability there. Because that is ultimately at the crux of all of this, is this kind of radical self-accountability to say, look, I'm not getting the results in my business that I want. Not getting the results in my relationship that I want. I'm not getting the results in XYZ that I want. So how is it that I've been showing up? Because I am the common denominator in all these things. And I'm also the only person that I have control over. I don't have direct control over the, people buying my services or products. I don't have direct control over my boss at work. I don't have direct control over my significant other, but I do have control over me. So me being the only piece that I have the absolute authority to go and change the way that I'm showing up. And this is why I speak about taking action, because to me, in my mind, taking action is synonymous with embodiment. So the way that you are showing up, yes, the outer is created from the inner. So you're going to want to put forth the intentions, mentally decide who that version of yourself is that you're going to be. Mentally tell yourself and show up in the mirror as you do your affirmation practice or whatever practice that may be, visualization, scripting, journaling. You're going to mentally do that, but then you're also going to follow it up with being that person. Again, showing up in the relationship. Okay, I need to groom myself. I need to, again, get rid of these crappy behaviors that I was engaged in previously, where I default to blame in the relationship. My default state is to shirk accountability and put all the blame on others. I'm used to doing a default where I'm the victim, or I'm used to being a default where I'm the manipulator, or I'm used to being a default where I'm coming in and trying to save things and fix things too much, right? So now I'm looking back at myself and saying, okay, these are the things that I've been doing. This is the way that I've been showing up. These are these are the actions that I've been taking that have been leading to the result that I don't want. So now I'm going up and I'm going to clean all of this up mentally and physically. And now I'm going to begin to show up in the proper way. I'm going to begin to set boundaries with my boss. I'm going to begin to set boundaries with the people in my life, even the ones that I care about. Because if I'm draining energy and I'm hemorrhaging all this energy because I'm allowing people to do things, say things to me which are not okay with me, then all of a sudden I'm not going to be able to show up. I'm going to be at a complete deficit in my life, my business, my partnership, etc. Right? So, being able to stick to something, having this stick to itiveness and this consistency with whatever it is that you're doing, and that follow through. If you told yourself, "Yeah, I'm gonna stick to my boundaries," that's very important. If you told yourself you're going to do something every day, like make a YouTube video, that's very important. If you tell yourself you're going to do something and you don't do it, you're chipping away at your self-belief, at your self-trust, and really at your self-esteem, because now you're saying, well, I don't know if I trust myself. That's what your subconscious is saying, right? Your subconscious mind is like, I don't know if I can trust you. So anyways, important conversation. I just wanted to talk about this because really the common thread that we all see when anybody's achieving what it is that they want on an ongoing basis in a consistent manner is that they're consistent. And even if you don't feel like it, your body will tell you, I feel like eating these donuts. I feel like lashing out at my husband or my boyfriend. But it's not about what you feel like doing all the time. It's not about always going with what you feel. It's about doing what's right, doing what you've decided to do, doing to what you're committed to do. As human beings, we have a propensity towards these instant gratifications. That's why people fall off the diet. That's why people go for the bottle. That's why people even cheat in their relationships or whatever. But being in a relationship with somebody is based on a decision that you make. It's not based on your emotional feelings, because your feelings are always fleeting. Your feelings are always changing. They're always constantly going like ups and downs like this. And so in that state of emotional low, where you're feeling those negative feelings towards your partner, or you're feeling those negative feelings towards your life, and then you go off the deep end and get blackout drunk, or say something that you can't take back, or do something that you can't take back, those are when people really find themselves in a whole lot of trouble. You could even get in trouble with do something that you can't take back, like I said, that is irreversible. And now you find yourself in a whole new mess of problems. And this happens to people, right? You see it on the news, you see it on TV. But what I'm saying is, when you make a decision, you decide to stick to it. Doesn't matter how you feel. What matters is what you've decided to do. And of course, when you're fluctuating through those feelings, you can always, there's always some counter argument to be made. There's going to be a bunch of people that disagree with me. That's fine. This is what I think. This is what I believe. I don't believe that you should be, because when you're constantly following your feelings, you're at the mercy of your feelings. Who's deciding your feelings? You're not deciding your feelings. Your feelings are being decided by external events that are triggering you. Your feelings may be decided if you take back your control and you do these practices and you engage in these kind of practices to get back to that equilibrium. Then yeah, you could say that. But really, even the practice of getting to emotional centeredness is a practice that you decide that you need to do. It's not a practice that your feelings tell you to do. All of these things, whether it's a healthy diet, whether it is showing up in a healthy way in your relationship, whether it is taking consistent action in your business or in your work, in your career, they're all based on decisions that you make. They're not based on, in my mind, emotionality. But anyways, guys, much love as always. I hope that this has given you guys a little bit to think about and be helpful as you go throughout this process. Because again, I just think that it is absolutely paramount that whatever it is that we're doing, that we're working towards, we have to be showing up in that way on a daily and consistent basis. And yeah, we'll always have days where we fall off. It's not to say that you beat yourself up if you do lash out at somebody. It's to say that, hey, look, I know that this is something that I'm working on, and I'm going to be better about that, and I'm going to catch myself. And even if you don't, and it happens again and again and again, it's about coming back to that awareness and saying, okay, so that eventually you do make that right choice, you do make that decision, and you do follow through with what you decided to do. A lot of the times, we get it can feel good, right, as human beings, to emotionally stew in negativity, dwelling on the news, dwelling in victim thinking, and none of that is going to get you what you want in your life. What is going to get you what you want in your life is upholding a higher and looking at how are you contributing, what is it that you have control over, because you don't have control over these world events, these what's it called, natural disasters going on, but you have control over yourself, the decisions that you make, and your own emotional state, right? But those, what I'm saying is that we often talk about inner to outer, and there's also the outer to inner. We are made up of these toroidal fields that are constantly emitting energy and they're constantly receiving energy. So the more decisions that we make that bolster our self-confidence, that bolster that version of ourselves that we're looking to become, the more that we're going to begin to feel like that. That's why when you take a power pose, when you begin to sit in a more relaxed way, when you do breath work, you immediately, your thoughts and your emotions begin to calm down, because the outer also affects the inner. So telling me, hopping on this channel and leaving all these comments about action doesn't matter is a bunch of nonsense, guys. I'm really tired of debating you guys on that. So I'm probably not going to, from here on out, even respond to those comments, or I may even just delete those comments, because there's no debate in my mind. The way that we are as physical beings was an act of creation. We were created from an action that our parents took, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be here without that physical action. There's no thinking, oh, I'm going to have a son and the son pops out or the daughter pops out. And so, again, guys, there's no debate here. It's very silly, and it's a bunch of it can be fun to engage in theory sometimes, but if you actually want to create what you want in your life, you have to be here in this physical world, be here in this 3D world, and not be denying the physical aspect of reality. With that being said, guys, much love as always. Drop this video with a like, drop it with a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you guys in the next video.